Hello students, today we are here with the worksheet number 24 of science. First of all, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, that is Kingdom of Education. Now we will look upon your worksheet. What is there in your worksheet? Let's see. It's about life processes again, and it's about respiration. First of all, what do you mean by respiration? Respiration is what? Respiration is the process by which living organisms produce energy from food. Food we eat is broken into our body and it produces energy, and which is utilized by us. The energy is in the form of oxygen also. It involves breathing. Breathing means gases exchange, that is your intake of oxygen from the atmosphere and release of carbon dioxide. That from the nose we inhale. Inhale means intake of oxygen. Okay, and exhale means release of carbon dioxide. Okay, and the second part is cellular respiration. Cellular respiration means it's about the respiration in between a cell. Okay, it's about cell only. In which what occurs? Let's see, breakdown of simple food in order to release energy inside the cell. The simple food gets breakdown in order to release energy, which is again utilized by us in various type of activities. Now we will see there are two type of respiration. One is aerobic respiration and second is anaerobic respiration. The word aerobic means air. The word aerobic means air. And the word anaerobic means without air. It means an air without air. The word an represents without. Okay. Now, what is there in your aerobic respiration? Let's see. In aerobic respiration, it takes place in the presence of air or oxygen. Air means oxygen. It occurs in mitochondria. Mitochondria is your cell organelle, which is also called as the powerhouse of the cell because it is involved in the formation of ATP. Because it is involved in the formation of ATP. ATP are what? They are energy currencies of the cell. Okay, ATPs are energy currencies of the cell. Now we will see the end products are carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide is exhaled by us during exhalation process, during breathing process. Now complete oxidation of glucose results in the formation of carbon dioxide, water with release of energy. More amount of energy is released. In this case, more amount of energy is released because due to the complete oxidation of glucose. As there is complete oxidation, therefore more amount of energy will be produced. One molecule of glucose produces up to 36 ATPs या ATP molecules of energy. Okay. Now anaerobic as compared to aerobic, it was present in oxygen. Now it takes place in absence of oxygen, as the word indicates, without air. It occurred in mitochondria, but anaerobic respirations occurred in cytoplasm and yeast cells particularly. Here the end products were carbon dioxide, water with energy, but here the end products are alcohol or lactic acid. As there was complete oxidation of glucose, but there is incomplete oxidation of glucose, which results in the formation of alcohol and lactic acid with release of energy. Energy is released in both the cases, but here in anaerobic respiration, that is without oxygen, less amount of energy is released as compared to aerobic respiration. One molecule of glucose produces only two molecules of ATP, that is energy. Here it was 36 ATP molecules, now here it is 2 ATP of energy only. Okay, so which one will be efficient? Definitely your aerobic respiration would be efficient. Okay, now we have a flow chart in which we are saying a glucose molecule is there. Glucose molecules consist of 6 carbon molecules. As we know the formula of glucose, we can write it here also. The formula of glucose is C6H12O6. So it is 6 carbon molecule. Okay. In cytoplasm of our cell, look here, this is your cell, this is your nucleus, and this is your cytoplasm. The whole activities are taking place in this cytoplasm. It can get converted into 3 carbon molecule. It was 6 and changed into 3 carbon molecule called as pyruvate. And release of energy is also here. But now we are seeing 3 parts. First of all, as we discussed in mitochondria, the cell originally called as powerhouse of the cell. It is also called as powerhouse of the cell. We have read this in your 9th class. Due to the formation of ATP, which are called as energy currencies. Okay. Now, in mitochondria and in presence of oxygen, there will be complete oxidation. Here it is, complete oxidation. Okay. And in case of complete oxidation, there is formation of carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Energy in the form of ATP. And how much energy is released? 36 molecules of ATP. Okay. Now, in absence of oxygen, as we'll see in this case, in yeast, okay, or in your muscles, or in your muscles also. As we know, when we run too far, there is, we feel a lot of pain in our abdomen. In our chest region, we feel a lot of pain. And after that, we are unable to run further. That is due to the formation of lactic acid. Sorry, I have written muscles here. This is not muscles here. This is this part, muscles here. Okay, due to the formation of lactic acid. It is a lack of oxygen. Lack of oxygen means in not sufficient. Lack means not sufficient. There is oxygen but not sufficient. As we know, when we are running, there is lack of oxygen during breathing. There could be breathing problem and there is lack of oxygen, and in that case in our muscle cells there is a lot of pain due to the formation of lactic acid and energy is produced. Okay, and in this case only 2 molecules of ATP are formed. Here in absence of oxygen there is completely absent. It's completely absent. Okay, when oxygen is completely absent, then we get formation of ethanol and carbon dioxide, and energy is again released. Ethanol and lactic acid, they both are carbon molecules, but it is of 2 carbon molecule, ethanol, and this is your lactic acid. Now formation formula I can write C2H5OH. This is your ethanol. Okay. So this is your flow chart. How 6 carbon molecule, you mean to say your glucose molecule, gets break down in cytoplasm. Okay. So this is very important question from your examination point of view. Now we will understand your next part. Let's see this video to understand it. We need respiration. We do respiration and we need energy in a lot of activities. In human cell, energy is produced in the presence of oxygen. Then it is called as respiration. It is aerobic respiration when it produces in the presence of oxygen. But in absence of oxygen, humans' energy is again produced. But the respiration here is called as anaerobic. Okay, this was a short video for understanding of how what is aerobic and what is anaerobic respiration. Okay, now again we can see this. Okay, plus oxygen, when oxygen get plus, it is aerobic respiration, and when there is lack of oxygen, energy is produced, but it is called as anaerobic respiration. Okay, now what is ATP? As I told you, ATP is produced in mitochondria. They are formed in mitochondria, which is called as powerhouse of the cell, and ATPs are called as energy currencies of the cell. Energy currency of cell. Okay, formed in mitochondria. Okay, now its formula is full form is adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. Okay, the form in which energy produced during respiration is stored. Look, if here is adenodiphosphate plus phosphate, energy is being given to form ATP molecules. On hydrolysis, it means your back reaction, it will release energy equivalent to about 30.5 kilojoule per mole. It is also called as energy currency of the cell, used to provide energy for other reactions in the cell. Now we'll practice our questions. The energy currency of the cell is ATP. We have read it. The breakdown of pyruvate to give carbon dioxide, water and energy takes place in where? Pyruvate into carbon dioxide, water and energy. We can see it from like here. Carbon dioxide, water and energy. It is in the presence of mitochondria. So, this is your mitochondria. Okay, beta. Now differentiate between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. This is your answer number 3. You can write it from here. Now question number 4. Explain the 3 pathways of breakdown of glucose in the living organisms. You can again be having your this question, this flow chart, and note answer number 4. This is answer number 4. You have to draw all of the flow chart here. Okay, and last question. What is the full form of ATP? It's your adenosine triphosphate.